Ready? Shall we get the new elected members sworn in?
You're gonna stand. Okay, I state your name,
I, Joel I. Smith,
do solemnly, raise your hand, do solemnly swear that I will support,
solemnly swear that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming.
that I have not knowingly
I have not knowingly
violated any law related to my election or appointment,
violated any law to my election or appointment,
or caused it to be done by others,
or caused this to be done by others,
and that I will discharge
and that I will discharge
the duties of my office
the
with
duties of my
fidelity,
office
with fidelity.
with fidelity. County clerk. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the roll call show that all are present, and we do have a quorum. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I so move with the following amendment to moving item under mayor's report, item B, to unfinished business.
Can I get a second on that motion?
I'll second it.
Discussion.
I'd like to amend that.
Let's do one amendment at a time.
Oh, we're discussing the amendment. I
We're discussing the amendment.
I thought we were adding amendments into discussion.
Councilman Zant, why would you want to move? You're moving.
My comments under mayor's report, and then the roundtable, 18B, to unfinished business.
Why would be the reason for that?
Well, I'll ask you the question, why did you move it from unfinished business when I asked our town clerk on Thursday to put it there, and you moved it to unfinished business? So,
You know, I moved it from unfinished business to the round table, because I feel that's the proper place to discuss. My understanding, you wanted to discuss officer salaries, resolution 22-010. You wanted to discuss that. So if we're going to discuss that, I feel is the proper place to put that for discussion. And I think it's a good
thank you
thing.
for your comments. Now, I feel the very same way. That's why I put it under old business. Because it was done previously. Which is under old business, which happened last Friday in December of last year. That's old business. That's why I put it there. And you have no right to change that. It is the council's right to approve the agenda.
And that
No,
is,
you are usurping the power of the governing body by doing this.
I am
When your
not.
actions are wrong.
No, my actions are correct. The
No, they're
mayor
not.
sets the agenda.
No,
Yes,
as a public
And-
member, I may put things on the agenda.
you can, as you've just done, amend the agenda. Did did you have it under
Old business,
not unfinished business?
old business. That's where request.
Where do we have old business?
It is not on the agenda.
Okay,
Then I will, fine. Then I will call for the vote.
but
I will call for the vote. Because the only thing we'll do is sit here and argue with each other.
it is, I was explaining to you, my understanding it was unfinished business,
Okay, put it under unfinished business.
but it doesn't belong in unfinished business. It actually belongs, I believe, under
The vote was
discussion.
called for, Joel.
Put it
Where-
in new business.
Can I have your opinion on this, Marshall?
My understanding is unfinished business is where you're gonna approve something or talk about something that's up for vote. You haven't made a decision on it.
That's my understanding.
If you're wanting to move forward with something new and talk, even if you're gonna include something old, then I would suggest, I mean, that it goes either in new business because you're gonna propose something new, or in a round table. So we can, either way, so you can move forward and make something new with it. If it's unfinished business, I mean, just by the name of it, it's something that's already, something that needs to be completed.
That was my understanding. That's my understanding. You just wanted to discuss discuss the office salaries of resolution 22-010. You wanted to discuss that. To discuss that, that would be the proper thing. If you want so new business where you're looking to promote ordinance or something like that, that needs to be under new business. To my understanding, Councilman Zent, what you told the clerk, you wish to discuss what went on in resolution 22-010. And if that is the case, then it's properly where it's at now. So if that explanation now,
I guess the question would be is if it's gonna be something proposed going forward or resolving something that's already happened.
I withdraw my motion of putting it under unfinished business and make the motion to put under new business. Therefore, it can be voted upon. Is that correct?
That would make sense.
Thank you.
so what are you wanting to put? What exactly are you wanting to put on new business? Resolution,
That is correct.
resolution 22-010 has already been acted on, and that
It's a resolution. Resolutions can be rescinded.
I think that one can.
it can't. It's
It has to be sent before we take office. We just took office.
But there's another issue that needs to be brought out that has not been brought out. And then if you disagree with my thinking, my logic, you may vote against my proposal. That is up to the council.
I understand where I'm catching up. You're thinking.
So tell me exactly what the amendment is.
My amendment is to move resolution under item number 18, reports from members roundtable. My item, Councilman Zent, official salaries, resolution 22-010 to new business.
I don't believe that's a proper, you need,
resolution 22-010 is already passed and done.
It can be rescinded. Resolutions can. Now, we can sit here and argue, or we can vote and then get to the item and then vote on it later on. But right now, we're just sitting here wasting our time. What are you going to do?
Well, I ask you,
I've answered you.
I ask you, and I don't feel that's
I don't feel it's right this time proper to bring it out. This is discussing the agenda. And I want to move something on the agenda. When we get to that item, I'll talk about it.
Marshall, do you feel that bringing you believe that that's to bring that into new business resolution 22-010 is a proper motion?
I believe bringing it into new business would be a proper spot.
Okay,
Yeah, I think Councilman Zent's correct here in believing that if he's gonna bring it up and try to pass a resolution, that would be the spot to or rescind it and call for a vote, that'd be the proper spot for it to be. You just want to vote on something tonight.
okay. So it's been moved and has it been seconded? Can I get a second?
I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we move into new business, resolution 22-010. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. That's moved into new business. Do we have any other?
I need to amend the agenda to move to the new business, selecting voting delegate for WAM.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We move the voting for the voting delegate for the WAM convention. Any discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All passed the affirmative.
I make a motion that we move the next meeting to January 23rd due to the fact pretty much everyone's gonna be gone on that regular night. Add that to the new,
You'd like to add
add
that
that
to the
to under
agenda,
new business.
the
under the agenda,
discussion
that's what I
of the
meant.
date of
Yeah.
the next meeting.
Yes, sir.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Stetler, second by Council Harkey, that we add to the agenda under new business, the changing the next council meeting date because the majority of the council members are going to be at the WAM convention. Any discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Any communications from citizens? None being, oh, thank you. Would you please step up, Jerry, and announce yourself?
Gary Wise on item 11. Would you please explain what SCADA is, SCADA? I don't know what those,
That's basically simplified. It's the electronics that watches our wells.
okay, thank you.
You know, that monitors our water tank and everything. It's our electronics.
Thank you.
Anything else from citizens?
Hey, Chris, this is Kyle Leto with HDR. Can you
Yes.
hear me okay?
Yes, we got
Hey,
you.
I just was calling. I know I had been in town hall a week or I guess it was before the New Year, maybe even before Christmas, and I had brought my buddy over from Visionary Communications to kind of look at some high-speed internet options for the town. And I did want to let you know that he has been in contact with some of his uppers. And it's my understanding, Joel, that maybe somebody had contacted you, but I just wanted to verify that. And
Yes, I did get a call.
make sure that,
Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to make sure that ball was still rolling and things are moving in that direction. So I won't take any more of your time, but I think it's a good opportunity for the town to expand some services. And I'm trying to get some people that want to start a small business and put in some fiber optic there in Shoshoni, because it seems like it's a good opportunity. With that, if there's any assistance that the town needs with writing a grant, because I know that the state's got some money for high-speed internet available, let me know how I can assist.
Will do. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Any other communications from citizens? None being consent agenda. Can approve the minutes December 13th, 2022, December 30th, 2022 special meeting. Approve the bills for December 30th through January 10th.
I so move.
Been moved to be approved the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Zant, second by Councilman Hartke to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion?
Yeah, I do. I was wondering how difficult it'd be during this part to put that up on the big screen, even for like 2 seconds. And then everybody online can pause it and thumb through it. I know it's public record and it could come down, but
So I used to do that. And then Councilman Zent requested I add it to our agendas on our website. So it's also available there permanently, but I can certainly do that, not a problem.
I just thought for everyone viewing at home, it makes things a lot easier. You can always pause it.
Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed, all affirmative. Resolution 23-001 ARPA well house.
Resolution 23-001, a resolution authorizing submission of an application to the State Loan and Investment Board for a grant through Water and Sewer ARPA grant program funding on behalf of the governing body for the town of Shoshoni for the purpose of water system infrastructure repair and improvement to ensure functionality and proper distribution of safe drinking water for the town of Shoshoni. Whereas the governing body for the town of Shoshoni desires to participate in the Water and Sewer ARPA grant program to assist in financing this project, and whereas the governing body for the town of Shoshoni recognized the need for the project, and whereas the Water and Sewer ARPA grant program required that certain criteria be met as described in the State Loan and Investment Board's rules and regulations governing the program. And to the best of our knowledge, this application meets those criteria. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the governing body of the town of Shoshoni that a grant application in the amount of $1,050,872 be submitted to State Loan and Investment Board for consideration at a State Loan and Investment Board meeting to assist in funding well and well house repair and improvement. Be it further resolved that Joel Highsmith, Mayor, Kim Riley, Clerk Treasurer are hereby designated as authorized representatives of the town of Shoshoni to act on behalf of the governing body on all matters relating to this loan application.
Can I have a motion to approve resolution 23-001 ARPA well house?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Statler, second by Councilman Zent. Any further discussion?
What is this? Where,
Could we have some information about?
like,
this?
what is this? Where is this?
It's the same one we applied for previously, we're reapplying.
For well house number, all well house. Okay. Let's bring that more out to the public.
It's the exact same one we went through 3 months ago. Coming back up to the, Jim Brewer's office here, and he helped, get some of the background information that went into the grant. Previously that were used.
So there's million plus here, so it's state loan and investment board. This is a matching or we're just asking for $1 million and
It's a matching, it's a 17% match.
Cost of town 17%.
of 1 million and change.
Yeah.
We'd pay 17% on that.
And this is for the, because most of our well houses are in pits, they're down below, so that's a lot of the issues we're having. This will bring them up and have a, of course, Jim would better explain that process, but that's the aspect of it, and the proven aspect of it, the repair aspect applies to some of the transmission lines that
So when we applied for this last time, were we denied or told to reapply?
we were told we would not. Because they only had so much money the first go around, and so now the second tranche of money is available, so we were told to reapply if we wanted to pursue this.
If you remember, I reported after going down that they were gonna have more money available and that we'd be considered again. The route they've taken to have us reapply instead of going after the original application.
Was this in September? Ish. Okay.
Any other discussion? Any questions for Jim? He's here.
I'd be glad to answer any questions you got, but it's fairly straightforward.
Yeah.
Get the pump houses replaced.
None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Resolution 23-002 ARPA SCADA system.
Resolution number 23-002, a resolution authorizing submission of an application to the State Loan and Investment Board for a grant through Water and Sewer ARPA grant program funding on behalf of the governing body for the town of Shoshoni for the purpose of water system infrastructure repair and improvement to ensure functionality and proper distribution of safe drinking water for the town of Shoshoni. Whereas the governing body for the town of Shoshoni desires to participate in the water and sewer ARPA grant program to assist in financing this project. And whereas the governing body for the state or for the town of Shoshoni recognize the need for the project. And whereas the water and sewer ARPA grant program required that certain criteria be met as described in the State Loan and Investment Board's rules and regulations governing the program. And to the best of our knowledge, this application meets those criteria. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the governing body of the town of Shoshoni that a grant application in the amount of $258,130 be submitted to State Loan and Investment Board for consideration at a State Loan and Investment Board meeting to assist in funding SCADA systems upgrades. Be it further resolved that Joel Highsmith, Mayor, Kim Riley, Clerk Treasurer, are hereby designated as the authorized representatives of the town of Shoshoni to act on behalf of the governing body on all matters relating to this loan application.
Can I have a motion to approve 23-002 ARPA SCADA system?
So moved.
Been moved by Councilman Statler. Can I have a second?
A second.
And second by Councilwoman Hartke. Discussion.
Is this a 17% as well? Same thing as just with ARPA, and that's just
Yeah.
protocol.
Yeah, and this is the same thing we applied for earlier. It was, when we eliminated we were applying for work on the road. We've eliminated that. Higher, less chance of getting that approved anyways. These are our best two shots.
These funds will come out of our star funds.
Yeah.
And we have enough money to cover the 150,000 roughly.
We could, it'd be up to the choice, either take it out of the water, or if you have to play that, or we could do 1%. This would be a project that
Or we could, can we use both?
we can use both.
Yes,
I just want to make sure that
yes.
community knows we have the funds. It's not going to be think we're stretching the budget, but it's enough. That's okay.
I ordered another mic, so it just hasn't got here yet.
The other part is,
You can have this one.
do we have a preference of which one we receive? If they say you can have either or, but not both, do we, as a town, do we have a preference?
So our preference on the applications that is submitted was the well houses for obvious reasons, that it's the
Safety.
safety,
Yeah.
but also the amount of funding that we would
Right.
get. So that one was the highest priority.
You also really need the well houses installed before you put the SCADA in.
That's right.
So. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, the same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. No permits. New business. High-speed internet there, that's what Kyle talked about. We got anything else?
I haven't heard anything else other than whatever.
No, that meeting, like I said,
I can discuss what it is.
yeah, go, you have a little bit of knowledge of that.
So basically what it is would be using microwaves, a tower would be placed up above Shoshoni. And that tower would be able to transmit high-speed internet with a small micro dish, kind of like satellite TV, to anybody in Shoshoni and about, I think, 10 or 15 mile radius around that. So it wouldn't be just Shoshoni that could get it. It would be pretty much up to Boise headquarters area and A-frames all the way around.
Above Shoshoni, where above? On
Up by the
water
tank
hill?
hill, yeah.
Okay. Be more, okay,
Yeah, sorry. That'd be the ideal place. So that's
okay.
just because of the proximity.
T-Mobile doesn't want to share their tower.
Well, this is a little different. This would actually be about, I believe he said up to 200 megabytes a second speeds. So it wouldn't be like I can't remember the Elon Musk's satellite radio or internet that he has, but that's like $600 for a station, and then it's like $100 and something a month. So you could get high-speed internet here in Shoshone with that. But this would be on par with $50, $60 a month, somewhere in that ballpark. That would be eligible for everybody here.
I looked them up in Cheyenne and they say down there they get up to 250. So that 150,
Well,
200,
Yeah.
that's a reasonable number.
I
And,
think too, this is Kyle again. My understanding is with that, they've got some newer equipment that they can put on that tower that'll run like, I think 27 people off of one piece of equipment. And that piece of equipment, that newer stuff can run like, I think they said 500 up and 200 down or something. So it seems like, I mean, he was saying that the fiber, if you hooked into fiber, is like 1 gig up and 1 gig down. And so with that newer equipment, you're about half as what you can get with fiber, but I mean, it's a heck of a lot better than what you guys are getting now. And it meets the standard like federally for high-speed internet. So I guess any of the options that we're talking about are like an improvement and get you into that high-speed internet realm, which I think from an economic development standpoint is kind of awesome. So.
Lot less money.
Yes. And so I guess we'll continue working with Visionary and with Kyle as well on furthering this and seeing what it looks like.
Are they looking for some town participation, or are they just letting us know about it? Or that's why I'm kind of curious why it's on the agenda.
I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse from what we talked about when they came down, some of the things. But there's some things that the town can do that would mitigate the cost and entice them to come here at very low cost to the town. But I don't.
Okay, and that would be great. Part of that $0.50 money or
Yeah, that
something
would
if
be
it
a
came to that.
infrastructure. This would be also infrastructure too, if we had to put money into it.
Yeah, okay.
New business, what's next? Officer salaries. Councilman Zent, would you please move forward with that?
I've had multiple people question the action was taken the last Friday of December, where salaries given to the governing body. Most of them thought it was done. Well, when I looked at the law, I forgot what statute was. The law says basically no sitting body can give themselves a raise during the term that they are currently in. That is a true law. And by that law, the governing body did follow the law to 100%. The question that was brought to me was conflict of interest. September of 2000, governing body voted to give the upcoming 2021 members a raise. The mayor's salary would go from 400 to 600, and the councilman would go from 50 to 75. That was in 2000, before the general election, before we knew who was going to be sitting in these chairs. And the people came to me and said, well, if you give yourself a raise and you know you're going to be sitting in these chairs, is that a conflict of interest? Because what was done after the general election. And so you're saying, oh, I'm giving myself a raise because I know I'm going to be sitting in that chair in 2 days. So people have questioned the purpose, the legality of our actions on the last Friday in December. So we're looking at 2 points. Yes, the town, the governing body did properly follow the law, or do they circumvent the conflict of interest law?
Well, before we, okay, the last one was given in
September.
2020, December
Yeah.
of 2020. And which you received a raise on.
Yes, before the general election, before I
No,
knew.
it was after the general
No,
election.
September.
December 29th. December
I did
29th.
not get a raise because I am
No, you
still in
did.
office. I am not getting a raise at all.
You got a raise in 2020 from $50 to $75.
Yes, and that was before the general election.
No, it was December 20,
No.
December 29th of 2020 after
It
the
was
general.
September.
December. December
Last council, you
29th,
said it was September.
it was December 29th, 2020. And you got a raise from $50 to $75. The two members of the governing body that did not get a raise was Bo Weaver and myself. Because we were not newly elected.
So my last council meeting, if I heard you correctly, you said it was September.
No, I did not.
So when did you say this date was again?
December 29th, 2020.
So we had a special meeting just for, to give a raise to that?
No, we did not. We had a regular meeting.
Because of after Christmas.
Yes. On which you got a raise in. You know, I reached out to both Marshall and I reached out to Mark Harris, Wham's attorney, which has tons and tons of experience, and he advised that it was perfectly legal for us to move forward on what we did. And he fed back another municipality had just done it. And
I've already said that was legal.
and he, just like we did just as we have done after the general election. And we followed state law. If you remember correctly, one of the reasons we talked of last time that I suggested that the mayor last time would be given $1,000 a month to correspond with the council's raise to 75 per meeting. That would put both parties even kill on 50% of what is allowed by law. But the argument was by the council members that would support giving a raise. They said if they knew I was going to be elected next time, but they did not know who the next mayor would be. And there's no way we can, force a mayor into doing extra work or do the work like I do. You can, do a couple hours a week and fulfill your oath of office doing what that's required by law. But fortunately, or unfortunately, it depends on which you look at, I'm retired or semi-retired, and I have the time to put 60, 70 hours a week in if needed, or 40, whatever it does, and I do that. And I was hoping by doing that, it sort of sets a standard that the next mayor would work hard to help the town. Because chasing these grants and working with state agencies and other agencies, it takes a lot of time to do that. But if you have a full-time job, you don't have time to do that. So the concern was, well, we don't know that Mayor Highsmith, if you're going to win re-election, and we feel uncomfortable of putting it higher than that, because we don't know who's going to win election. Well, when this last vote, the council knew who won the election, and they said, and the council set what they felt was a fair price, salary for the mayor. And it's not only me, whoever is the next mayor, hopefully, and the same with the councils. I think the council here, we attend Class A city meeting. We get you council members here get paid for special meetings and meetings. A Class A city gets paid for all committee meetings, which we have a bunch of committee meetings you don't get paid for. Class A city will pay for that. And they can pay, depends on type of, they have 3 different type of governments, and we have mayor councils, what we have here, and different, you mentioned Casper, $300 a meeting is but that's the maximum amount the mayor of Casper by state statute can make with the type of government they have. It's $300 a meeting, because the most they can make maximum is twice as high as their council members. Their council members are maxed at 150. But if they have 7 special meetings, and special meetings and committee meetings, they get paid for every one of them, or can get paid legally for every one of them. You know, so it's, when they set these up, I got a wham book from 1995. The same salaries in 1995 are the same then as they are now. I believe these salaries were set in the 80s or maybe before, but the salaries have not changed since 1995. But that gives the municipalities a range to work in that fits their budget. It's got to fit their budget. Before I proposed this, I went to Chris and Kim and looked at our budget. Does this fit in our budget? Didn't bring it up earlier. One of the reasons I didn't know if we had budget. With the Craig report came out, time I was aware of it, late November, early December. That it looks like that we have some funding, more funding than we thought. So I thought, well, and I asked, it looks like, yeah, we can make the budget work. So let's be reasonable. It's, so that was a number that I came up with, would put the mayor at 66 percentile as the council was at the 66 percentile of potential earnings. Because I felt that both are doing, both jobs deserve that, because we want to attract. We had a hard time getting anybody run for council. Would that extra $25 a meeting help a little bit? If we're paying 100, we're used to paying 50, but if we get the council a little extra, because you take time away from family to come here. If you got a job, you got, there's things, and nobody that much money, you can't say it's for the money. We're not making Vegas money. The mayor's not, I'm not making enough money that's a lot of money. But let's just try to maybe encourage, maybe if we pay the mayor, the next mayor, pay the mayor a little more, maybe you'll get a better mayor than me. You'll get better class people running. That's
I would
sort of
like
like
to
I'd
make
say.
a motion.
What's your motion?
I would like to have an ordinance written up that, one, the salaries for council members and mayor is split to two separate votes. So we vote on the mayor's salary, you vote on the council salary. Second, this vote must be done prior to the general election.
So you were to ask us to write a resolution as that.
I would like to see it as an ordinance.
Okay, we can start an ordinance. That involves 3 readings.
That's right.
Right, okay.
So does my motion make sense?
My question, why would you want to separate? That'd be let's go ahead and make a motion. Let's make a motion and we get into discussion. I got a motion, can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, been moved by Councilman Zent, second by Councilman Demick.
The reason is what eliminates one for 5 men on council, and only you can vote for, if you are running for mayor. Okay, I'm backtracking my head. If it's done before it's done before the general election, it wouldn't matter because nobody would know.
Correct.
Right. So we'll just leave that part out. Just say prior to
That
the
was my
general
question.
election.
Can make a motion that all the elected officers' salaries would be voted on prior to the general election.
Correct.
And we've got a second for that, correct? Councilman Dimmy. Any more discussion?
Your motion to start the process of the ordinance
Yes,
for that purpose.
that is correct.
Fair enough.
To eliminate, because I've heard everything.
To start the process of the ordinance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we could just
There's
direct the
rumors
clerk
rampant
to
throughout
do
town.
that, but we can have a motion if you
I
want.
understand where you're at now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just to, eliminate rumors in the community, because I've heard multiple rumors of everything that the mayor was gonna get a car, insurance, and, I hear all these rumors.
So the mayor of
But if we
Du
do
Bois
this-
does get a car and he has full health
To get a
insurance.
Durango.
Huh? Well, we're working on that. Well, I'm hoping you guys have blessed me with the
Okay,
Durango.
so just to eliminate this, so prior to the general election, so you can't say, oh, you're stacking your own pocket. That's all I want to do.
And your motion's to start the process of.
Yeah.
the
To start the
ordinance.
process.
And I can support what you're saying, Bob.
Thank you.
I mean, Councilman Zentman.
That's fine.
Any other discussion? We've got a motion second. All in, if none being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose the same. Motion passed all in the affirmative. Okay, the next one is, we need to select a voting delegate for Wham. Have a motion.
I move that we send our mayor as the voting delegate for that.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Been moved by Councilman Steller, second by Councilman Zant. Any further discussion?
You currently do this? You currently in charge of that?
Pardon?
Are you currently,
No, we vote every year.
right, but were you last year with Bo
No,
or somebody?
I've been
else?
every year but one, and Bob did it last year.
And we're-
Typically, it's the mayor that does this.
We're given, is every municipality given one voter?
One vote.
So it's nothing to do with population or?
That has nothing to do with every municipality. We get the same vote Casper does. We get and if you don't elect a delegate, you get no vote. Any more discussion?
Anybody else want to be the delegate?
Any more discussion? Then being all in favor, say aye. Aye. All same. Motion passed, all in the affirmative. Next, let's discuss our next council meeting. The suggestion would be to change it to Monday prior to the scheduled meeting, which would be the 23rd of January. Is that correct? Look at my calendar right.
24.
24th is scheduled. The 23rd, or we could do it the week after, the 31st. Or the 23rd. I'm just looking at cancel the one, the 24th, cancel that one to a different date to where we have more council members present.
Are you going to WAM?
I'm just going to the boot camp portion
Yeah, me
of it.
too.
Hope y'all carpool.
No, I'm just heading, yeah, I could be here on the 24th actually, but I know, I'm thinking you guys are heading down
I'm
there.
already heading.
Yep, I'm
And
heading.
you're gonna
down.
be gone.
He's
so
gonna be heading.
Kim,
You're probably gonna be there.
If I was in crowd, I'll just stay here and hold down the fort for everybody.
I'll be here with you.
Cheyenne.
We'll cramp some tape around.
any suggestions at a different date that works? What works best? I have no preference.
What are bills due?
Well, that was typically the last week of the month and the first week of the following month is 80% when we get our bills. So if we pay them on the 31st, we'd be fine. The 23rd, we'd have to go all the way till the 14th of the following month.
The 30th, you're saying may be better for bill paying?
Just because of the the proximity.
The
to
30th
first-
or 31st?
Yeah, 30th or 31st would be better. For that, if that's the deciding factor, okay?
It doesn't make any difference to me.
What's our meeting schedule currently in February? 7th and the 21st?
No,
14th and 28th.
If we had it on the 23rd, we go into the 14th.
31st sounds like it might make the best sense. So can I have a motion to change the date from the 24th for our next regular scheduled council meeting, and we'll get that published and notified to everybody to the 31st of January
7 p.m.
at 7 p.m. at Town Hall. Got to specify the location also. A state statute. Time and location. So do I got a motion for that?
So moved.
Get a second?
I'll second it.
Been moved by Councilman Statler, second by Councilman Hartke. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, say aye. Aye. So same. Affirmative. Police report.
I have the yearly numbers and incidents compiled for this year, and like I said back in October, that I would have the comparables for 2021, as well as I threw in a 5-year average to look at some trends. I know that I highlighted a couple just to kind of show some correlations. The one with controlled substance is green. I didn't mean it because of the other stuff, but it just happened to be a color that I thought would be easy to see.
I'm colorblind, so I missed the entire joke.
Yeah. Oh, I did this for you, Mike.
I'm just waiting for you to explain what red is. That's something I didn't. I don't know what color it is, but I don't know what red is either.
Ready is report every drunk driver immediately. How do you know they're drunk? That's what it is. So, we did have a increase in these in warrants, eluding police and controlled substances. A lot of that is the warrants, especially from 2020 with COVID, when we weren't arresting on warrants, so we've had an increase. But if you also look at the 5-year average, it's still higher. So it just kind of shows a trend in general. So it's not all from COVID. Same with eluding and controlled substance use. So they kind of interrelate. The one thing that I did want to point out, though, was, you know, we've been doing a lot with the Fremont County DUI Task Force. And so in yellow, I have DUIs, readies, accidents with and without injuries grouped together. And if you look at this year compared to last year, every one of those is down significantly. But then if you also look at the 5-year average, that's also trending down. So correlation is not necessarily causation, but I do think that the DUI task force, based on these numbers, and this is also somewhat similar around the county, is having an effect on drunk drivers in general, not just comparing just to 1 year, but if you look at a 5-year average. So I do believe that's effective and worth noting and putting out there that our efforts are showing some results. In the orange categories, this is another troubling one. This is going the opposite way. These are things that are trending up, not just in 1 year, but 5 years. And they kind of interrelate between juvenile issues, harassment, domestic, probation violations, fighting, and minor in possession of tobacco or alcohol. And they kind of interrelate. And it seems that every one of those is trending upwards in the last 5 years. And then the other categories are kind of all over the place. Some are up, some are down. We did have quite a large increase in ambulance calls to Shoshoni last year from the year prior, as well as the 15-year average, or 5-year average, sorry. But this is on the website to take a further look at if you're curious.
What's your rate of solving property crimes?
When last I checked, we were at 50%, but that was 5 property crimes.
Okay,
So it's small sample size.
I'm looking at theft, burglary, those type of things.
Both those burglaries were solved. The theft, I'd have to look at specifics on that.
Vandalism would be there, or something. Yeah, those are all property crimes.
Yep.
In my mind.
Yeah, and the national clearance rate, when I last looked, I believed it was like 17%. It's pretty low. But I can, if you want, I
No,
can.
but just
look and get-
off the top.
I didn't think about it. I should have, I thought about putting clearance rates in, but I didn't.
That's fine with me. I think those are good numbers.
But I can say both of the vehicle thefts were solved. As well as the burglaries, the vandalisms. I know we got 1 of those 4. And the thefts, I have no idea how many of those we did solve. But I will say the warrants we solved 100%.
Good.
Would you say, Chris, since we went to where we take fines by credit card or debit cards, our payment has went up, percentage of that? Is that?
I would say it's definitely a increase without Kathy, to know exactly how much, but pretty significantly, I'd say, as far as receiving the payments versus when they sent them in the mail. I think they're more on-time payments. I don't know
Right.
if it was, they finally paid when they got their license suspended and then they decided to contact the court and eventually paid. I don't know the answer to that, but I know that our on-time before court has kind of a lot, reducing the workload for the judge and the clerk.
Do they have to pay an extra fee for that credit card use?
The third-party vendor does charge a percentage fee. We don't get that fee.
It's money well spent.
So I think it's like 2.58% or something like that. Whatever. It's kind of like the county. If you go pay with your registration with your credit card or debit card, they charge you a percentage of that. Sorry, Bob.
Bob
Thank
Streeter,
you.
Bob Streeter. Chris, when they, like if I pay for my license plate with a credit card in Lander, they charge me that fee. You charge those people that fee, right?
We don't charge it. So the way our system works is they pay the vendor then pays us. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I was wondering, looked like the user should have to pay the fee.
They do.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So they pay
the
the
same
fee.
thing.
Yeah, so they pay the,
Excellent.
yeah, they pay the
Yeah.
company and then the company gives us the, whatever the proceeds were that we were billed. So we don't have to pay anything.
Excellent program.
Anything else? Do you have anything, Mike, you would like to add on the round table? Bob, anything?
No?
Tammy? Welcome back, Councilman Stetler. Would you like to add just a little bit? We're really glad to have you here.
It's good to be here. If anybody needs anything, just kind of let me know and I'll do what I can to best serve the community. That's about all I got for today.
Basically, I'd like the report. We last council meeting, we talked about Wild Moore and lost his home in a fire. We I reached out to Lyle. He came in town hall a day or two afterwards, and we had a pretty good discussion. I asked him if there anything the town could do, or if anybody else is doing anything, if there's anything organized we could be part of. And he told me that there'd been several other organizations or people had reached out to him, but financially he was okay. And in fact, he's going to have the old burnt trailer house removed in the next few days. Things is going on. He said financially was okay. He's looking at options on what he's going to do, potentially build a log cabin. I mean, but anyway, Lyle's doing good, and financially, emotionally, of course it's rough to see everything you own burn up. So it kind of shook, it would shake anybody, but he's doing good, and he wanted that to pass on. Basically, we're still chasing grants, and hopefully we will in the near future let out for bid again the town hall project, and so we can get into our new home. But I don't really, just everybody stay warm, run water, don't let things freeze up. I don't have anything else. Kind of a motion to adjourn, unless somebody else has something they would like to bring up. So moved. Been moved by Councilman Zent to adjourn. Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilman Harkey. Can I have a discussion? No discussion present. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Motion passed in affirmative, 8:02.